toy fans, Kyle here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the last, final Megazord from Power Rangers Dino SuperCharge. This is the Titano Charge Megazord. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video review. So, finally, we have ourselves the Titano Charge Megazord after, gosh, I don't know, weeks, months of hunting. The distribution initially was horrible. It was like this toy showed up in stores for a week and then showed up on Amazon that same week, and then it was never to be seen again for months. Until recently, they've slowly started showing up again at Walmarts. That seems to be the place where they most frequently are popping up, and that's actually where I was able to find mine after probably 3 solid weeks of going from work to Toys R Us to Walmart, Target, almost every night throughout the city. And it was one night they just happened to have one left, and that is the one we're looking at right now. And I also forgot to put the little head thing back right there. We'll look at that later. So starting with the packaging, we can see you've got the same basic Power Ranger standard packaging that we've gotten for the past 2 years with Dino Charge. Of course, it's now Dino SuperCharge. You've got the Red Ranger, the same design in his SuperCharge mode. Now, we've also got a lovely piece of artwork with the Titano Charge Megazord right there. Something that's kind of weird is that the charger right here no longer has a hole where you can stick your finger in and see the little animations. That's gone. It stinks, because I would always do like a close-up in these video reviews of these Megazord, Deluxe Megazords, where I'm like, poking at it, and now I can't because they blocked it from me. Boo. And that's weird. I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe people were like stealing them. I don't know. Taking a look at the side of the packaging, we've got a really, really cool shot of the suit from the show. He looks awesome in this picture. And on the back of the packaging, we've got another image of the suit from the show. Of course, it shows all the other Zords that we can combine these with, but it doesn't show the Parazord or the Raptor Zord, which are needed to form the Ultra Zord. I think that's kind of weird not to include them in here, but anyway. And at the bottom, you got collect all the Chargers, same design as before. Nothing really new, that is all. And that's basically it for the packaging. We're going to go ahead, we're going to take this baby out, and we are going to finally, at long last, take a look at the Titano Charge Megazord. Woo! So once we've gone ahead and gotten everything out of the box, this is sort of what we're left with. We, of course, have the Dino Charger right here, the Brachiosaurus Charger. We've got the head and the chest piece for the Ultra Zord mode. And, of course, we've got the neck and the top of the axe, as well as the end of the tail for the Brachiosaurus and the Megazord mode. First and foremost, what we're going to do is actually take a look at the charger right here. This, of course, belongs to the Brachiosaurus Ranger, or the Titano Ranger, or whatever you want to call him. Silver Ranger. You could call him whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. But this is his charger. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to take it and put it into the Dino Charge Morpher after we turn it on. Then we're going to take the charger, slide it in the mouth as usual.
Titano Charger, engage! Energize! Unleash the power! Brachiosaurus! Power Ranger Silver!
And of course it says Brachio Silver or Brachiosaurus Power Ranger Silver. And also, this is my little Dino Charge morpher that I custom painted to look like the Gabu Revolver. If you're curious or if you want to see how I did this, let me know, and maybe I'll do a tutorial video on how to upgrade the look of your crappy looking Dino Charge morpher into something a little nicer. Maybe I can find one of these for cheap, we'll see. But that is a totally different subject for a totally different video, and we will talk about that another time. Since these two pieces, the head piece and the chest piece, belong to the Ultrazord, we can actually go ahead and store them. But first we're going to take a quick look at this head, because it does look very nice. I love the detail on the face, as well as this metallic green color that matches the eyes. It looks really good, really menacing. I really dig the way this looks. And this, of course, is also the chest piece for the Ultrazord. And of course, it's got all the 20-something Zords that have been seen throughout the series. And that's also kind of a cool thing. And since we don't need these until later, the cool thing about them is they actually both store onto the back of the TITANO Charge Megazord. So you just take the head, stick it in like that, and then you take this piece, and this just clips in like that. It's a really tight connection. Very, very scary. When you consider that it's only holding one little silly piece of plastic in, it doesn't need to be that tight when this actually holds like the entire backpack and it's only one little puny piece. So that's something that we'll look at a little later, but that's kind of silly the way they worked that out. And these two pieces, this of course is the neck that'll be seen in the Brachiosaurus mode, as well as the top of the axe. These both just clip in like that. And we've got his entire axe weapon that he holds in the show. And he holds it in toy form as well. Let's see, maybe I can get a better look at that. There we go. And he looks really, really cool holding it together. You can kind of get him to dual wield it. It's not really the greatest connection. And if you do try, chances are you'll bend something. But it's a very, very subtle fit. And he can actually hold it. I don't think it's designed for it, but I think they just kind of made it a little extra longer so you can get this look, if that's something that you like, because I personally think it looks great like this. But, well, I thought it was weaker, but it gets fairly strong hold apparently. It's barely in there too, like not even a centimeter, and it's holding that well. So that's kind of cool. I didn't think it was that strong because of how loose it was in there. And that's definitely something you can do. This we actually don't really need anymore for now. So we're just going to look at the meat and meat and bones. Not milk. I really want some milk though. I think that's why I said milk. I'm craving milk. Anyway, the meat and bones of this set is of course the TITANO Charge Megazord right here. And he looks very similar to the Japanese version in terms of sculpting. He is almost identical apart from the fact that he's probably 30% smaller. The sculpt on this toy is really fantastic. You've got all the Zords. I think there's like 10 Voltosaurs, I want to say. You've got top of the head, you got the head itself, 2 shoulders, 2 on his chest, 2 on his hips, and 2 on his legs. So he's got a ton of sculpted detail. It looks really, really great. My only issue is the colors that they chose for the plastic are very, very dull, and a lot of the sculpted detail gets washed out in them almost immediately. The gray, for example, it's got a lot of swirls, which means it wasn't mixed that well, and the swirls kind of add to the detail, which sort of washes out this fantastic dinosaur head. Like, you've got these 2 fantastic dinosaur heads that are just like so bland and almost invisible to the eye if you're looking at this thing. And then you've got the swirls in addition to that, so it's kind of a mess. You've also got the chest pieces that are trying to emulate the gold color. They don't look anything like gold. They look like macaroni and Kraft American Singles cheese color. Really, really disappointing. I mean, the detail is there. I just wish they could have used subtle, different plastic colors. I can't imagine that would have changed the overall cost of producing the toy by that much. If they just went for more premium colors, because, I mean, detail-wise, it's amazing, but there's something about it that just doesn't sit right, and it's because of those dull, terrible colors. And apart from that, The only actual paint detail you're going to find on this toy is in the head right here, where the brachio head and the faceplate, as well as right here, the red on the chest. The rest of it is just molded plastic detail, unpainted. You know how it goes. For articulation, you can rotate his arms 360 degrees. He kind of has like a bicep swivel, but that's more so for the transformation. It's ratcheted. And if you want to, you can actually bend his knees, but again, that's for the transformation, man. He does have lots and lots of Zord builder ports, so if you wanted to remove his arm and replace it with the Dino Charge Megazord arm, that's definitely something you can try and do, though it doesn't fit quite right because of the hips. That's a thing. What can you say? He's a righty. And he's got Zord builder ports on the side of his legs as well, and Zord builder ports on the top of his shoulders, which I actually like to go ahead and store the Raptor and the Megazord up there. I just think this looks fantastic. I love that. And you can actually store these guys in his Brachiosaurus mode as well, and I'll show you how you can do that. It's really cool. But I dig the way that looks. Now to get him into his Brachiosaurus mode. The transformation is quite simple. Let me see, make it a little brighter. All you really need to do is remove his head, take his faceplate, stick that down just like that. Take his legs. Make sure there's a little ball in there, if you can see that. Make sure the ball goes in the hole. Kind of like the Dino Charge Megazord's legs or his feet. Ball hole, because if you don't get the ball in the hole, the bottom of the feet aren't going to stand right, and it's just going to be kind of a pain in the butt. If the balls are in the hole, it's the only way that you can get the feet to all sit flush, and that's kind of a battle sometimes. You can also go ahead, flip that open. We're almost ready. Take this, split it apart, lower the jaw, and the top of his head just actually kind of snugly fits in like that. And then close the jaw again, and now it's nice and locked in place. This just connects up here, and adds kind of a counterweight. And then back here for the tail, you just want to take this piece, and this just snaps just in like that. And there you have the Brachiosaurus mode. And he's quite long. I mean, he's fairly long for comparison. Here he is next to the Megazord. So he's a good size. Definitely a good size. He can move both of his feet. Again, just be careful, be wary of the ball in the legs. You can't move the front legs. You can move them back. But after that, they're going to just get stuck. You can't move them any forward. You can open his mouth and close his mouth for a little gimmick that we'll take a look at a little bit later. And if you want to, you can kind of wag his tail, I guess, if that's kind of a thing. So you'll notice, of course, right here in the chest, you can see exposed Dino Chargers. Dino Chargers. These are actually just molded tips. In the Japanese version, there's actually slots where you could put every single one of the Dino Chargers in there. And when you put them all in there, it would make the special, you know, Bragigas Ultrazord sound. And it was fantastic, unfortunately, because there's no electronics and because this has been significantly reduced in size. You can't actually do that with this version of the toy. I wish there was a way they could have done that, where they could have kept just the whole gimmick where you could put them in. I guess not. I mean, they could have. I mean, I'm sure they could have. It wouldn't have scaled properly, but I don't see why they couldn't have done that. I mean, maybe I'm lying, actually. They probably couldn't have unless they wanted to make the actual body a bit thicker. But even then, there's a lot of dead, empty space right here. Wow, man, I'm just blowing my mind. I'm blowing my mind. So if they were to make this section taller, this section just a bit shorter, they could have definitely done that. But I guess they wanted to go for the accurate proportions so that they cut out this amazing gimmick. But if you want to, you can still actually sit Dino Chargers in there. Well, could like 10 minutes ago. There you go. You can sit the silver one in there. And that looks dumb. Now, he does have one more gimmick in this mode, and that is this ridiculous, like, open mouth head gun mode. You open his mouth, I was going to say you open his fingers, you open his mouth, and then you slide the Dino Charger in there, and then out pops up a miniature faux Dino Charger that's not even properly painted all the way, and it's completely red, and I just got a bad thought about something. That's that gimmick. We're not even gonna talk about that. We're not gonna touch that. That's what it does. Now a lot of people do complain about this black piece, how it does look a little bit out of place, and I do agree. So if you want to fix that, you can just take it and pop it off. There you go. Now it looks a lot better. Much better. And that is it for these two modes. Now, of course, we have our big combination modes, which we're going to look at. There are two different versions. You have the Ultrazord, and you have the other version where he forms a giant weapon. We're going to take a look at the Ultrazord first. So in order to get to Ultrazord mode, what you want to do is completely rip this guy apart. So, head off, legs, feet off, feet, legs, and tail off. Close that, and you are good. Now what we're going to want to do is take this guy, and this actually turns into a weapon, so that last step where I closed it, we're actually going to reverse that. And we're going to open it like that. Then we're going to take these 2 feet. Oh, geez. That is a tight fit. Take this feet. Like that. We can take this back piece, remove it, as well as pull the helmet out. And now we can put the back of the Brachio head right there. And now that just kind of stands up. Let me show you a bigger, wider view of that. That is just silly looking. And that is his gun. We're going to take this, put this to the side for just 1 second. Then we're going to pull out our Dino Charge Megazord, and we're going to add to his feet. So to add to his feet, we actually want to take these pieces. These are originally the leg pieces. Fold them out. And you can put them either way. I've seen some people put them like this. I kind of like the way this looks because it kind of frames up all the dinosaur heads, but apparently you can also put it like this. So that's how we're going to do it just for the time being. And there's one leg, and put this leg on the bottom. And there is 2 legs, and now we can see he's been a lot taller of late. If we want, we can go ahead, put the chest piece in. His Ultrazord chest piece, that just fits right there. Remove his backpack, remove his helmet. And his helmet actually can store down here, underneath his legs. Just put the helmet in like that. And that just stores right there. Then we're going to take this headpiece and his tail, close that up real good. I just noticed this sculpted detail. That looks really cool. I never noticed these pipes. And this tail actually folds in and snaps into place. So we take it, jam it on top of his head, and he looks completely ridiculous, kind of like a star a bit. Then we take this piece, and now it sort of acts as a gun. And that's one way to display the TITANO Charge Megazord. My personal favorite mode is, of course, the Ultrazord. And to get to the Ultrazord, this is what we're going to do. Also, bear in mind that in this mode, you have nowhere to put this. I mean, suppose if you wanted to, you could kind of put it right here. But that just looks kind of silly. Makes it look like he's kind of like a warrior, actually. It's not silly at all. It's sweet looking. Alright. So, now to get into Ultrazord mode. Let's take this, put this out of the way. Take this monstrosity. Close it. pull off the legs, pull off the neck, pull off the leg. Let's see. Sorry, I'm working in like a really tight space right now, so it feels like I'm super like up close and tight and yeah. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take this piece, which also resembles the logo of the show if you haven't already noticed. Chomp, chomp. And this just locks into place as a gigantic, terrible looking backpack. Then you want to take this piece right here and his legs. Take this leg and this piece. They're just held together by this one puny little clip. Do the same thing with this leg. And they are held in right here where this little camel toe is, right there in the back. And it does kind of add support, but I mean, for something kind of like this, I would hope there'd be more than one peg connection. But there's only one peg connection, and that's kind of a scary looking connection. And we are not done yet. So let's see if I can move them back just a bit. Then what we want to do is take the brachio head right here. Take the Megazord. Open him up. Open up his mouth. Or no, this is the Raptorzord, not Megazord. Open up his little trident thing, and this just pegs into place right above the brachio's head or jaw, just like that. And this becomes the weapon that he will hold. Also, you can take this head, and actually, it does fit in just back here. You put it backwards. That's more storage right there for you. So storage-wise, they're doing pretty good with the excess pieces. You want to take this piece, and it just kind of slides into the hand of the Stegazord, just like that. It's a bit of a wobbly connection, but it does hold into place. Then you want to take the Megazord, and this just pegs into the shoulder, just like that. And there you have your Dino Charge. Oh, there you have your Dino Charge Ultrazord. Not terrible looking, actually. It's quite big. I love that it utilizes all 5 of the main Zords as well as the Silver Ranger, but then you're kind of left with, I think there's like another 4 Zords that don't get used. So it would have been nice if they could have utilized those, but I guess not. But as far as Ultrazords go, it's pretty nice. It's not terrible. Anyway, I think that does it for this look at the Power Rangers Dino Charge Ultrazord Titano Charge Mega Blaster Fest. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is my last Power Rangers Dino Charge video because literally in a month, Ninja Steel is going to come out. Crazy to think that this Megazord, the Dino Charge Megazord and the Dino Charge Morpher, are 2 years old now. So it's definitely about time we got something new, and I cannot wait. So hopefully between now and the time Ninja Steel comes out, I'm going to try and get a couple more Ninja toy reviews out. I've got all the mechas, except for one. So hopefully I'll be able to finish those up pretty soon. Anyway, that does it for this video review, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the TF Review, like me on Facebook, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great one, and peace out.